What's up, guys? What's popping? Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm back again with the talent management series, and I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. I'm also going to try not to offend anyone while talking. Scrap it. It's impossible not to offend anyone, but I'm going to try to offend as few people as possible because it seems like these days the mere opening of my mouth breeds offense to one or two people. So, guys, times have changed, and the talent management and entertainment industry has changed a whole lot. I dare say every industry has actually changed a whole lot. Look at us. We've done 3 to 4 months in some countries, sitting at home, getting used to the new norm. Even the last concert that I produced or co-produced was a digital concert. We had like 20 artists, 21 artists from different parts of the world, but it was all online. Gone are the days of adrenaline, running behind stage at the hotel and all those big venues around the world. Gone are the days of moving for interviews physically. We're now doing interviews on Skype and on phone calls. So everything has changed. The hustle is now twice as hard, but luckily, the reward is also twice as bountiful as it used to be before. So it is now time for everyone, artist and manager alike, to quickly move from being hustlers and move into being brands. Evolve is the word. Evolve from being mere hustlers into being brands. And if you're wondering why I'm saying it's important for the manager to also become a brand like the artist, my response is very simple. In this digital age, everybody needs to have a brand, and it's easier for one brand to sell another brand. What's better than a brand? It's two brands collaborating together. So, gone are the days of ghost work. Besides, how do you expect me to spend the rest of my life working hard to build a brand out of one guy while I remain in the shadows? That's one of the problems that most of these artists and managers have had and labels in the past, because you build this artist and then you remain underground. The artist outgrows you at some point and then no longer feels the need to respect you or to be subject to your advice because they have grown, they've broadened their horizon. Besides that, right now everything is being sold digitally. So even as a manager, you need to earn extra income. You need to be able to influence for other brands, digitally, have your own platform, but ensure that on your platform, you're perceived as a business person and not just one of those street urchins. So right, you heard me right. As a manager, it is important that you build a brand for yourself, but it is more important to know what type of brand you are permitted to have, because you should ensure that you do not end up competing with your artist. He is the product and you are the salesperson stroke sales channel. And remember that the salesman will be jobless without a product to sell. So listen carefully and let's talk about what type of brand a talent manager should have and project. Or rather, what type of brand is a talent manager not supposed to have? Not permitted. I'll use the word permitted because suppose is like enabling, but what type of brand is a talent manager not permitted to have? I'm trying very hard not to offend anybody, so I'll be careful with my examples, but listen carefully as I go on. So I'm going to read this like word for word for you guys from my notes. I mean, I took this thing as a business. I studied all that I'm sharing with you guys today almost free of charge. So yes, your looks, number one. A talent manager needs to pass an overall impression of a responsible person, consistently calculated, strategic and well articulated. So sagging your jeans to meetings and putting those fake gold and silver chains around your neck, or what, still having numerous piercings in your ears isn't exactly the best, my dear. Of course, you should have swag, but your swag should be channeled to productive areas. You are the manager, come on. You are even allowed to carry a signature look, but let the signature be a balance between trendy and responsible. Always maintain a balance. It is very, very important. You should be a bit savvy about everything, and even though you are knowledgeable about nothing at all, you should try to ensure that you can hold interesting and intelligent conversations with people from every sphere of the society. You are a talent manager. You must exude sense, my people. And for social media, your social media pages should have a bit of a business feel. people interacting with you on social media should be able to tell at first glance what you do as a business and the talent slash clients that you manage. Picture updates in serious-minded meetings with other big brands in sophisticated places and locations is a great way. So why did you spoil my video? No. Pause it. Jesus Christ. My son just spoiled my video, so I'm very upset now. I don't even know how to talk, but I'll try to continue. Your social media should have a bit of a business feel, with people interacting with you in sophisticated locations, some of the big players in the industry as well. Shit, it's not working. Stop it. Guys, I'm angry. Someone just spoiled my video. Anyways, so like I was saying, your social media should have a bit of a business feel. People interacting with you on social media should, at first glance, be able to tell what you do for a living, be able to tell what artists you manage. So you should be able to sell your client, the artist, as well as your management skill as much as possible through your social media channels. Picture updates in serious-minded meetings with other big brands in sophisticated locations, showing off that you roll with those that matter in the industry and you have the right connects and the right networks will be a plus. It's a good way of selling yourself. It's okay to show affluence, but you need to ensure that it doesn't become psycho fancy where you're posting pictures with rolls of dollars by your side on social media or having a champagne bath, as the case may be. Your artist or your talent may get away with something that's stupid, but my dear, as a manager, you will hardly ever get away with that. Also, you will need to handle business negotiations for your clients. So please don't show up at those business meetings looking like a cheap hag, looking like you just fell out from somewhere. Because if you look like a joker, it will be difficult for you to convince clients that your talent or your artist is worth $1 million or is worth all the kind of money that you are asking. So even though you're just worth a social media page and a smartphone only, try to look smart, sound smart, and carry yourself with a certain demeanor. Also try to talk intelligently. If you have nothing to say, please shut up. No one will fine you for keeping quiet, because it would be better to be quiet than begin to ask stupid questions that will end up making your talent look like a joke in front of prospective clients that could have paid you big money and brought money into the business. Also, while it is great to place great value on your talent, you want to negotiate and make people know that he's worth a lot of money, it's good to know when to stop. It is good to know who to play these games with of placing big value and when to stop so that you do not end up missing money that would have helped to run the business. Think about it. You're speaking to someone who has been a promoter in the industry, or one of the big media owners of one of the big media houses in the industry over the last decade, who has been promoting your artist for free all this while, and you begin to name unimaginable sums of money as performance fees. You're probably just not only going to lose that particular deal, but you're going to begin to take your artist rather, off the heart of so many people who could have brought money for him and brought money into the business. Also, please stop competing with your artist. You are the manager. Please stop confusing us. Let's know who the manager is and who the artist is. It is very wrong for you as a talent manager to be trying to keep up, trying to compete, so to speak, in fashion, whatever it is, fashion, looks, affluence, or whatever it is with your artist. Manager, artist, two different roles, two different brands, two different people. I'm going to give you a bit of a sensitive example. There was this young artist who had one of the biggest hits in 2015, monster hits. I mean, like 2 hits. He even featured Davido on one of his songs. Things were going very well. But from the first time that they came to me, I knew there was a problem, because each time they came out in public spaces, the artist was always dressed like an errand boy and was always looking so subdued, while the manager made sure he dressed looking fly and he was the one that was always forward and everything. And they presented one of his videos to MTV Base, and MTV told him blatantly that he wasn't fine enough to have his video aired on MTV Base. Guys, this is not hearsay. This is something that I personally witnessed. At the time, even if you go on this artist's social media handle back in the day, you will see like out of 7 pictures, 5 of the pictures were pictures of his manager, while only like 2 were pictures of the artist himself. Think about it now. How it won't take work. So keeping the jokes aside, guys, as a talent manager, this is business. It is called show business. You know, when you say showbiz, it's the short form for show business. What we sell is art and perception. So please ensure to keep a balance between your art being top notch and selling the right perception as well. I know there's something they call fake it till you make it. I don't want to talk about it. Just ensure you don't fake it till you break it. Because at times that's what a lot of you guys do while you're trying to fake it, and you fake more than you can handle, and at some point you run into endless debts and all of that because you're trying to keep up with, I mean, there are no Kardashians in Nigeria, so you're trying to keep up with the hustle and bustle of the entertainment industry. Don't be more interested in the package and forget the content, because what we sell is both the art and the perception, which is the package. Both of them have to be at par. They have to be at par. You know, people should remember you for being a great talent and also for having, you know, the right package. As a manager, you are the ambassador of a brand. You're the ambassador of your artist. When you go into the business aspect of this business or this brand, which is your artist, you're the one who people see first. So please remember to project your artist well, represent the brand well, pass across the right impression at all times when you come out, because whatever you do right or wrong will rub off on your artist. Remember, like I said earlier, you are the salesperson and the sales channel of this product. If you lose the product as a salesperson, you're no longer in business because you have nothing to sell. So please keep it in mind, you know. And for you artists, while choosing a manager, your consideration should not be that guy back from the day in the hood, or the guy who you can shout at and who cannot tell you the truth even when it's glaring. Your consideration should be, who is that business person that will protect my business interest? If I were to have 100 million or $100 million rather to invest in a business, who can I trust to take the right decisions with this type of money and invest it properly? That should be your thought when looking for a manager. One will not survive without the other. So guys, look for someone you have the right synergy with. Go for that person with for the right reasons as well. Managers, you have your part to play. Artists, you have your part to play. I love you all for listening to me. Chatter, chatter, and chatter away. Enjoy the rest of your day.